The script of Fathead, written by C. Craig Patterson, was a love letter to his mother and a journey of Fathead and her brother Toodaloo going through the Badlands of the Junkyard Paradise and being pursued by an army of ravenous, murderous children called the Ragamuffin Army. The first thing you do in the script is you're negotiating with yourselves primarily on what the environments are. And there's a lot of like, is it in this environment? Is it in that environment? And by environment, I mean a complete persistent landscape that you build in Unreal, that you might have multiple shooting positions in. So I can move this whole thing over to there in the Junkyard Paradise, and I can shoot over there because we can move the environment. You don't move the camera, you move the environment around the camera. So we start with concept art. This is very interesting because concept art isn't just pretty pictures, but you're trying to locate in everyone's mind just what we're doing. And you'll notice that as the concept art develops, it's developing over multiple planes. So you'll notice that there are foreground elements, midground elements, and a background element in all of this concept art, because those are the planes that you're trying to separate out to work out, and you're constantly asking yourself, is that physical production design, or is that a static mesh, or what is that thing? This is where you start doing this. You're building something where you can track to the horizon, and that's how you get the parallax. Production design. We did a lot of maps. This is one of those shooting positions. So you're constantly, for production design, trying to work out where you are in the landscape, where you may put the camera, and then what is virtual and what is going to be physical production design. Photogrammetry. We had Rainer Gombos, who won the Emmy for the direwolves in Game of Thrones. He was our photogrammetry supervisor. Each photo is being mapped in 3D space and then applied so that we can get a model. This was very important because, again, these are our master custom assets. 12 to 24 feet, we could probably put this in as it is now, and it'd be okay because you're 24 feet away from the camera. And then after 24 feet, you're looking at matte paintings because there's no discernible way that you're going to notice parallax, even moving from this to the other after 24 feet. Gray box and layout. The amazing thing about Unreal is there is an unbroken process from when we did that first gray box through all the different vendors, picking up our project and letting it go again. No one starts again here and then starts like on the high resolution assets. You're replacing those assets as you go. Fairly soon though, you've got to drop a camera, and this is what happened with this shot. You'll see down the bottom. It's a virtual camera in Unreal. It's a 47mm lens at f2.8. It's got a focal distance there. And as soon as you drop a camera, you're into previs and techvis. You're starting to work out what your blocking is. This is an invaluable tool for filmmakers that's only been really available to the kind of Spielberg and Zemeckis set. But now there's Unreal Engine, and everyone who aspires to be a filmmaker should learn Unreal. Sometimes the DP wants to work out his camera coverage, and they'll lay the camera, they'll lay the wide, they'll lay the mids, and then you get all that and send it to an editor. Other times there'll be visual effects elements going in here that you'll want visual effects numbering. And as you're doing the previs, you're also working on higher fidelity assets in the background. You're replacing those, you're rerunning the render on your previs. Great reel by the third floor. They're starting to get the camera in under to really accentuate this foreground depth. There is our photogrammetry, beautiful plain asset here. And we're starting again to look at the color palettes. One of the things that they do in their process is they start pulling swatches off your references and then using those in the previs. So there is, again, an unbroken line between the references that you lay out. You're not doing that just for fun. There's actually processes that bring those colors into these. This was looking at a particular application of stunt viz. Two kids who are running and jumping. Where do we put the mats? Where is the camera? The hash kind of is obviously where the wall is. But you're determining, again, continually, what is physical production design, what is going in the wall. We have seen at Mesh a client negotiate between a DP and a production designer to say, well, if we push this bar into the wall, then how does that change the numbers? That process is going on all the time. And you'll see the color scheme down here as well, telling you what each of the elements are. Character design. C. Craig gave us a rich palette of amazing characters that populate this junkyard, and our costume designer really brought it all, Maddie brought it all into the design of these characters. So we scanned them, and we rigged these full body scans into MetaHumans, the product from Unreal. And then we applied mocap, and these are an element in the film. So you'll see them in the background observing the whole time. They chant at different points in the film, and they're a kind of narrative chorus, if you like, to the main action. It's like a Greek chorus in a Greek tragedy. All with individual animation cycles that were triggered on an iPad app, because they all needed to punch the sky at the same time. They all needed to bow at a particular moment. And so we had someone who developed a blueprint that would control, not just trigger them all at the same time, but ripple the movement so that it looked organic. Final pixel, we owe a debt to Felix and his company Narwhal, who finished this for us. So they'll take all of our assets and all of our problems and make them beautiful. And they really did some beautiful work here. These are some of the kind of style frames they gave us, and then you're moving towards your final. So here, this is a virtual camera within Unreal, within our Unreal environment. You can see they're dropping figures down. You can see they're trying to work out where the wall is again. You can see they're using the virtual camera in order to reposition. And then we've got their lighting runs, which I really love. So these are the kind of layers of finesse and atmospherics that then go into making our film. You see the metahumans in silhouette up the top. Lastly, the volume itself. I mean, we were very lucky. We got given Amazon mega volume. It's 85 feet across and 28 feet high. It's a $150,000 book rate a day. They gave it to us for 3 weeks. In it, we shot the entire film. We dressed the whole set, and in 3 weeks, we shot our 3 different locations. It was an amazing experience there. We were having to invent a process as we went. And luckily, I mean, oh, yeah, this is a cave environment. That's just geometry with well, I say just, but it's geometry with a Quixel texture across it. So another way of building an environment. You can go into 2.5D projection in environments, and that really works very well. And this is the crew. This is C. Craig and our ragamuffins and dumbs. That's it for me for the moment. That was Fathead. Thank you very much.